82nd birthday. People tell me I look great for 82, and I agree with them. But I look like shit for 45. So much for first impressions. You've made yours. There was this one night, still painful after 20 years, that I really wanted to make a good first impression. I had written this stage play, which I thought could convert well into an indie film, low budget, that I could direct myself. Victory. A student of mine offered to set me up with a rich investor she knew who was interested in film, and arranged this perfect night. We would go to the theater to a well-reviewed play, and after that we'd go to Brennan's where I would have an opportunity to shine, and we'd somehow get $500,000 out of this guy. Asking for money is the most painful thing to me. My mother taught me never to talk about money, and asking for money was rude. But I had to do it. So getting dressed, I was a mess. I fretted over every little thing I put on my body. I finally ended up with a business-like navy suit, but with a little panache of a scarf, so I'd look business-like yet accessible. But I looked in the mirror, I looked like I was worth $500,000. I said so myself. But I was running a little late, so I get to the theater and dash into the ladies' room because my mother taught me always, always, always to go before any occasion in my childhood, whether I needed to or not. So I obeyed her. It was making me later. The usher points me quickly. The seating is strange, and I had to walk down the far right aisle, actually cross the apron of the stage, and up a little bit to get to my potential investor, and I barely had time to shake his hand before the lights went down, and it was going, lateness really makes a bad first impression. But the play was going well, and I sneaked a peek at my playbill, and by golly, that usher was actually the artistic director of the theater, and someone I very much wanted to meet. I had 5 stage plays. So I thought, well, maybe I can double dip if I finesse my time a little. And I made a little quick, clever repartee with the investor, and then I go back around to the lobby, and I'm looking for this guy, and he comes up behind me, and he grabs something, and he says, "What's this?" It was my toilet paper tail. And before he realizes that, he says, "Oh, it's wet." And we both go for a millennial moment. Then I grabbed it and I ran outside and I howled at the moon. I railed at the gods. I cursed my mother. Never fail to curse your mother. Everything in me said, run for the hills. Slip out the back, Jack. I fingered my keys, but I couldn't do that. It would have been so rude, and it would have embarrassed and betrayed my student, and it would have blown a good opportunity. So I sucked it up, and I walked across the stage. Well, first I thought, maybe I'll get a piece of toilet paper and cross the stage like this, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And everybody laughed, right? And that'd be great, except it was a drama. As a woman of the theater, I could not spoil that mood for the actors. So anyway, I sucked it up, went back, sat in my chair, and that was pretty much the end of it. The investor was a dud, all hat, no cattle. I slipped out and got the hell out of there as fast as I could. About a week later, this artistic director calls me, and he says, Casey Kelly, I'm so-and-so of the so-and-so theater. I've heard you're a playwright new to Houston. He said, I'd very much like for you to meet you and read your work. I pretended he had the wrong number. So that's so much for first impressions and last impressions. And that was the day I decided to quit calling myself a playwright. I now call myself a playwrote.